very diverse council district. I was represented by my colleagues on this platform. And the great thing about this council district is that in each neighborhood, these are some of the noted neighborhoods as they're up and coming. People are talking about them, not only in the city of Los Angeles, but throughout the nation. They're writing about York Boulevard on Highland Park. They're writing about Ball Heights. They're writing about El Sereno and its beautiful hillsides. They're writing about those things that make these communities great. And part of that is because we've worked hand in hand with community leaders for the last 8 years, as I've been a council member, to continue to improve our communities.
Well, Mr. Brown, I'm glad that you asked about the people in the community, because after all, this is what it's about. It's the people that are in these neighborhoods that really want solid representation. And one of the joys, of course, in a campaign, besides having to raise money, is getting to walk door to door. And you meet a lot of wonderful people, very interesting, have an awful lot to share. But what's great about it, as I said before, is those people that are really interested in the issue and are interested in coming out to vote. And it's unfortunate not enough of them are going to come out to vote. So hopefully we're encouraging them. So we thank you for this forum.
Okay, Mr. Chavez, 30 seconds to either amplify or rebut something you heard.
I'll pass.
Okay, Ms. Diaz?
I'm fine.
All right. Carlos, your first question.
Okay. The first question I have is, recent events in Ferguson, Missouri and other cities have focused public attention on the investigation of the use of force by police officers. This week, Los Angeles State Senator Holly Mitchell introduced Senate Bill 227 to prohibit the use of grand juries, whose deliberations are secret, in cases of officer-involved shootings that result in the death of suspects. When the city weighs in on state legislation, what position do you think the city should take on SB 227?
And this question is Ms. Molina.
On first one. Well, it's hard to understand why we wouldn't want a grand jury. I think it would be worthwhile to have a grand jury if it's about transparency, if that is the issue. I think that as much as possible, we should have an opportunity to see what's going on in a grand jury. I know that's a very important part of secrecy when they're criminal involvement, and there's a policeman's bill of rights. So it's going to be tough sledding to see it opening up if that is going to be the purpose of this particular legislation.
Mr. Chavez?
As an advocate against police brutality, I support SB 227. I think it's important that we bring some transparency whenever we're dealing with issues of police brutality or excessive use of force.
Ms. Diaz?
I'm a social worker, and I believe in transparency and documentation of all facts. Facts to me are very important. When it comes to police brutality, it is wrong. And there are good police, and unfortunately there are those that are not so good. So in regards to transparency, it is very, very critical that the public knows and understands what exactly is happening to the victim who may be hurt, injured, or shot. Many times in the ER room, I see victims who have been victims of abuse, and it's not a good thing. And unfortunately, I think as a community, as voters, we need to look at this collectively and work together to advocate for transparency in the justice system.
Mr. Wieser?
So unfortunate what happened in Ferguson, and that is something we would certainly not want to have here in the city of Los Angeles. Times have changed here. We have some of the lowest crime rates in Council District 14 that we haven't seen since the 1950s. And a lot of that is due to the fact that our police department deals with our community in a much different manner than it did in the past. We have senior lead officers who go to every community meeting, who are there with my staff, working on issues day in, day out to ensure like something that Ferguson does